Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. We are currently ranked 1,111th in the world, just under 7,200 trophies using 3.0 Xbow Cycle. Gonna be getting some more live ladder games for you guys today, and hopefully we can get some nice matches. I think I'm gonna try and go for 7,300 trophies if possible. So we found our first match against Aegis, and he looks like he has a pretty good profile, so it should be a pretty interesting match. Just gonna cycle a log, as he gives me the good luck back. And so I definitely still think that Queenbow is the best Xbow deck in the meta right now, but I do just personally prefer 3.0. I have kind of a soft spot for it. I know a lot of you guys prefer watching it too, and it is also my most comfortable deck, so that's why I like to play it still. But Queenbow is probably better for sure. So we do see an Electro Giant matchup to start out, which is not a great sign, honestly. I feel like Electro Giant is in a weird spot. I mean, it did get nerfed quite hard, I think, most recently, but since it is 7 Elixir, not 8, it is a bit harder to control it with Xbow now. But we'll see what other cards he has in the deck. Doesn't look like he has a Golden Knight because he already has Dark Prince, so maybe it's not too bad. But if they do have Lightning, I feel like after you get past double Elixir time, E-Giant can be quite a hard matchup still. Just going to split my archers, though, in the back, and he doesn't have E-Giant back in cycle, so I might actually try and go for an Xbow right now, maybe predicting something he'll go for, and he just goes for a cannon on it, so I will just log the cannon. Archer's helping out as well, and Dark Prince comes down, gonna protect my Xbow with the Knight as well. Bomber comes down, but this should hopefully defend everything. Unfortunately, he also has Barbarrel, which is going to be a great counter to our Xbow, so we actually didn't really get too much out of that, and I took a ton of damage on the right from the Baby Dragon in comparison to the lack of damage that I got. But he does go for a Baby Dragon on that Ice Spirit, which I think was definitely a mistake, because I'm pretty sure he's real low in Elixir right now. I think he was just at 3 and just barely had enough for the cannon, so I'm definitely going to log it. I know that's an 8-4-3 trade, but yeah, it looks like he didn't have enough Elixir for the Dark Prince in time, so just going to go for a Knight on it, and I kind of mistimed my Knight. I was hoping to get it right at the time when the tower would help out, but this is still totally fine, because playing an extra 1 Elixir in the form of skeletons isn't really going to cost me much. And just like that, we are in a huge lead right now. Goes for E-Giant in the back, which is interesting. I don't actually think he's back to cannon either, but I don't think I can really go for an Xbow because I'm pretty sure I'm a bit lower on Elixir. So I'm going to go for an Xbow now, but I didn't want to do it right away because I didn't have any defense set up for his E-Giant, so I wanted to pre-cycle my archers. I'm going to go for a Tesla up high. It's going to be the anti-lightning placement on the Tesla so that if he tries to lightning, he won't be able to hit the tower and the Tesla. Also going to kite all of this into my Tesla. Okay, that kind of messed up, but Knight should hopefully destroy all of this. I think I have to go archers as well, actually, just because tower is unfortunately on the Baby Dragon, and he went for an E-Giant in the back. So even though this is kind of predictable because I already have archers coming down, I'm definitely going to go in again because that is still 7 Elixir of expenditure on his end. And yeah, I think I'm probably going to let this Xbow go now and just set up for defense. He might get a lightning on my Tesla and tower, so I have to be a bit careful here because I don't have another Tesla back in cycles. I'm going to have to cycle back really quickly, 2-1 actually, log the E-Giant back as well. And if I didn't do that, I think I might have taken like at least 500 damage. I don't want to be even on damage since he does have the lightning in the deck, which can definitely outdamage my fireballs. So yeah, he goes for an E-Giant in the back in my lane, which is pretty interesting. I guess he's trying to cycle 2 E-Giants or something. So we'll see. I'm just going to set up for defense here. And he goes for a Dark Prince, so yeah, I definitely think he's trying to do some kind of split lane pressure, but I think I should still be fine. Tesla actually does snipe the Bomber, which is really helpful. I'll just protect it with my Knight as well. Baby Dragon coming down, but Tesla's actually on the Baby Dragon, which is huge because, as you can see, the E-Giant doesn't actually get splashed, or it doesn't splash the Tesla with its zap, so I actually get the Tesla to stay alive pretty well. Gonna fireball this Dark Prince and just go all in on this push because I think he's gonna be pretty low after all of that, and unfortunately I think the E-Giant's just barely gonna walk into Xbow range, but if I was able to take all of that out a bit sooner, I think he probably would have lost his tower there. But still, we're still up by about 1,000 damage, so not really anything to be too upset about. Gonna have to cycle back to another Tesla in a second here, and once again gonna go for it in the anti-lightning placement. And Tesla is once more targeted onto other stuff, which does help it a little bit, staying alive against all this other defensive stuff here. And my commentary kind of got messed up for a second there, but I think we should honestly have this game in the bag. I don't think he can really outdamage me at this point, and I can just set up with many anti-lightning Teslas. He's going to be forced to hit nothing if he wants to get tower damage, and if he wants to hit my Tesla, he won't get tower damage. So it looks like he does hit my Tesla, which I would say is the better play, but I can just go for a defensive Xbow. Technically, I know it's like an offensive Xbow, but technically it was on defense. But yeah, that's going to be game. Pretty nice win against E-Giant Lightning. Pretty interesting matchup there. I feel like, again, it's not too easy, especially since he has Cannon, which would pretty much fully counter an Xbow if I don't defend it, and that's just a +3 trade. But overall, still pretty nice to get that first win. Single Elixir lock was pretty important, and overall did a pretty good job to put me in the top 1,000. Alright guys, found the next match against Abdullah. Let's see what he's going to be running. Gonna cycle my Ice Spirit early on. Always a very nice starting play because there's virtually no risk at all to it. Looks like he's actually going to ignore it, so maybe he has a heavier deck or just didn't have a good response in hand. Goes for a Tombstone, so I think this is going to be either Lavahound or Splash Yard. Those would be my two main guesses. We'll find out what else he has. Flying Machine, definitely going to be Lavahound then. Going to Fireball that off instantly so that my Knight still helps out against this Tombstone. And yeah, Skeleton Dragon. So it might be Lava Miner without Balloon because he does have all this other stuff with Flying Machine, Skeleton Dragons. But we'll see. Doesn't unfortunately have arrows, which is going to be pretty tricky to deal with because it's going to do a pretty good job at taking care of my archers. But still, we should be okay. I'm basically wanting to go for an Xbow at the same time that he goes for a Lavahound, so I'm hoping that's what I can do. He goes for a Miner in the back. I guess he knew that I didn't have Tornado because I'm playing Xbow, so pretty smart of him there. Didn't go in the safe spot. And I think I can actually Xbow with this Knight. He might try and snipe it with a Flying Machine. Okay, he goes for an Inferno Dragon. Definitely going to Tesla and Skeletons to distract it for longer. Notice my Tesla placement does take care of the Inferno Dragon while it's on the Xbow. And actually going to commit even more with an Ice Spirit plus Archers, because I think this will force out arrows, or if he wants to ignore it, it'll be like another 500 damage at least. So yeah, I feel like that was a pretty good trade on my end. I might be down Elixir now because I spent quite a lot there. We did get a nice connection, and I do have Xbow back in Cycle, which was kind of the point, because I do want to Xbow whenever he goes Lavahound in the back. That's kind of my general game plan against any Lavahound deck. So yeah, right on cue, goes for a Lavahound, gonna go for an Xbow, same lane, and he might go like Skeleton Dragons here, and I can't really do anything because I don't think I want to Fireball them instantly, but since he is kind of just waiting, I think I will Fireball now, because it is about to be double Elixir, so I should get more defensive resources since Elixir Flow is getting faster as well. And Inferno Dragon kind of pushing the Lavahound off to the side, pretty smart of him, because usually I try and take out the Inferno Dragon with the Tesla, but that was pretty well played. In any case though, just going to go for a low set of archers and then try and get a really nice fireball on all of this afterwards. Also going to Ice Spirit for the Flying Machine. And somehow he didn't go for arrows on my archers. I don't know why. He chooses to just reset instead. Which, I mean, fair enough. He is going to be up quite a bit of Elixir, but he kind of just gave me a free defense by not going for arrows there. Back to Skeleton Dragon, so going to have to try and defend this, I think. I will Fireball them off because it is double Elixir again, so I can probably get back to another Fireball. Gonna actually snipe this Flying Machine with a Tesla on it, which is pretty funny, but thankfully one of the perks of being up a tower, and I can just log, and now we're gonna win because that was just a pretty clean defense overall. Very nice Ice Spirit value, and yeah, that play is really fun to make if you like play stuff on their side of the map after you've taken a tower, but it can actually be really useful if you remember the principle of taking out Lavahound support troops before actually taking out the Lavahound itself. But that's going to be another win, putting me at 7,252 trophies. Alright guys, found another match against Kyoka Suigetsu. Apologies if I didn't pronounce that name right. I think it's Japanese, but we'll see. He goes for a Fire Spirit to start out, so probably going to be a pretty tough matchup, because usually Fire Spirit is like Log Bait or Hog. Looks like it is going to be Log Bait. It's going to Fireball off that Princess right away. And let's see, yeah, Skeletons as well. So this should be pretty tough if he has like the Mighty Miner and Rocket, because they can just keep up with your cycle pretty easily, and then just rocket almost every Xbow. But we'll find out. Okay, he actually has Drill instead, which is interesting. Gonna log this off at the start, and this is a play that I really like, where you log the first Goblin off and then deal with the other two. That was still a perfect defense, and it doesn't allow the Fire Spirit to get any damage either, because if I went Skeletons there to distract the Drill Goblin, it would have been pretty tough Does go for a Mighty Miner and cannon, but he goes for the Mighty Miner really low, which allows me to snipe the cannon with my Tesla. So this should actually be pretty good because I should have my Xbow still alive. And okay, unnecessary log on the Princess. I wasn't sure if the Xbow would target it or not. So that is kind of unfortunate, but we do still get a small connection there to put us in the damage lead, which is pretty nice. Looking like it's going to be Drill instead. Depending on his spell, I think this should still be a pretty hard matchup for us, but I guess I would rather go against Drill than Logbait, so we'll see. Gonna split my archers. Okay, never mind. He goes for Drill and actually goes for Princess at the Bridge, unfortunately, so gonna snipe that with archers, and then he isn't going to get any drill damage, but Princess still gets 2 shots, I think, so that's going to be pretty tough. Yeah, Princess at the Bridge is always a threat with this deck, as I'm sure you guys know, because you have to waste Elixir predicting it, or it's just guaranteed damage if you don't predict it, so kind of unfortunate. And he messed up his Fire Spirit there, so I actually get 2 Knight hits. Definitely a mistake on his end. Going to go for an Xbow because I don't exactly have the best cycle here, and he goes for a Mighty Miner, so I'm going to Tesla once again. Goes for a Drill and Princess. I'm going to log. I think that was a mistake because I can just get a nice log to hit the Princess too. That was actually a flawless Drill defense. Again, I really love that play of logging the first Goblin. It works best if you have like a Fire Spirit in the deck as well, so you can take out the remaining Goblins instantly, but Ice Spirit Skeletons also work out if you play it well enough, and that's just going to put us in a huge damage lead, so I don't really see if my opponent can come back from this. I don't even think he's revealed his big spell yet. Or maybe he just doesn't have one. Okay, he does go for a Rocket, so he's going to have Rocket, which I think does make this a pretty tough matchup, but I'm also kind of confused because he didn't go for a Rocket the entire game so far, when he would have just had free Xbow defenses if he did that, so I'm a bit confused, but still going to predict Princess in the middle just in case, or Princess at the Bridge rather, with Skeletons in the middle just in case, and just going to Fireball off the Princess. There's no real need to be super aggressive here or anything because I have a huge damage lead, so I can kind of just wait for him to maybe overcommit with a Rocket on offense or something. Ice Spirit very clutch there as well because it does help out against the Princess at the Bridge, and that's going to be another flawless defense. I think I can actually go in, yeah, because that cannon isn't even in range to hit my Xbow, so that was kind of funny. And I'm going to Fireball off this cannon, maybe catch him off guard. Okay, pretty well played of him to Mighty Miner block. So unfortunately that was just a big overcommitment on my end, but if he wasn't expecting that, it could have been a small Xbow connection, so the opportunity was there. But still, gonna set up with another Tesla at the Bridge. I don't really have a better use for my Teslas, honestly. I don't think I want to go Tesla on the Drill. I think it's a bit too much of an expenditure, and I'd rather just get value against the Princesses at the Bridge, or cannons on my Xbows, for example. Goes for a Princess, and I think he might actually try and defend, yeah, with another cannon, so Knight to predict was perfect. Gonna log the Princess off as well. And Mighty Miner ability comes in, but not in time because it is going to be underground and invisible when that happens. So just like that, we're going to get another Xbow connection, and that's going to be game. So really nice win against Drill or Rocket. Very interesting deck, kind of a blend of Drill and Logbait. Did have the Rocket in there too, but I feel like my opponent should have used his Rocket more on my Xbows because it would have been harder to defend. But anyways, that's going to be 7,285 trophies, rank 811 in the world, and yeah, pretty interesting there. Also, I was lucky enough to draw this person, a Nerf Miner. He actually drew me earlier as well when he was playing Miner, Mortar, Earthquake, or he tried to draw me, we played, but I lost. But thankful that he tied me because that would have been a super hard counter as well, so yeah, that was pretty lucky. But that being said, let's keep the games going. Alright, found another match against Mateo. I think those are meant to be T's, but I'm not sure. I think that's a Y, or the symbol for Japanese and Chinese currency. But I guess he intends it on being T because I'm not sure. But anyways, that's enough about his name. Split archers, and he goes for a Ghost as well, so Barbarian plus Ghost. I think this might be 3 Musketeers or Bridge Spam with no big tank. Like, yeah, Ice Golem, probably going to be 3 Musketeers then. Bridge Spam with no big tank is probably going to be actually, yeah, with Heal Spirit as well. I was going to say that Bridge Spam with no big tank is probably going to be a pretty easy matchup as well. 3 Musketeers probably a bit more difficult, but I think it might still be my matchup if I play well enough, because if I defend perfectly, he shouldn't have a chance to break through. 3 Musketeers come down. Also going to depend on if he has the Golden Knight or not, because Golden Knight is obviously a really hard counter to Xbow, or at least 3.0 Xbow and Archers. But okay, he does unfortunately have Golden Knight, so gonna be tough. Gonna go Knight for the Golden Knight side then, and then Archers on the left. I would have loved to go Knight for the 2 Musketeers, but then Archers would have just kind of gotten destroyed by the Golden Knight, so couldn't really afford to do that. Overall, though, I would say that was a pretty good defense because we only took one Musketeer hit. I'm not sure. I think there are, like, perfect ways to defend 3 Musketeer pushes, but I haven't exactly laid it out in a plan or anything like that. So I don't know the exact formula. I just kind of defensive Xbow and see what works. He does go for a heal spirit at the bridge. I'm going to go for an Xbow, actually. Yeah, predicting his pump. Pretty nice play. He's probably going to Ice Golem to stall. And this is going to be annoying, so I'm actually going to Tesla to DPS down the Ice Golem as fast as possible. He does go for a Golden Knight just in time, but I still think we are going to get a connection here. Ghost as well. And, okay, never mind then. Golden Knight dash destroys everything. That is really annoying. Heal Spirit as well is also very annoying. And then, yeah, he's back to Barbarian. So, okay, I guess that should be a lesson to you guys. It's probably not going to happen if you try and get a connection against 3 Musketeers, at least in single, or actually even more so in double. So yeah, it's pretty futile to try and get an Xbow connection, as you saw there, because they can just cycle so quickly with the Ice Golems, with the Barbarians, Heal Spirits, and then by the time okay, wow, he goes for 3 Musketeers in the same lane, which is very weird. He might be trying to bait something out, but I'm probably just going to fireball all of them, because that is still a +3 trade, which kind of just offsets one of the pumps. So yeah, definitely going to take that fireball. Okay, I actually missed 1 Musketeer, which is pretty bad. This is actually quite a precarious situation now, but hopefully I can defend. Going to have to cycle back to yet another Knight, hopefully in time. Okay, looks like I did. Perfect. And Golden Knight hopefully isn't back to his dash, otherwise, yeah, it would have destroyed everything. So we somehow walked away from that. I should not have missed 1 Musketeer on the right, but I kind of guess that was his idea, to force out the fireball log on the right, and then go all in with that E-Barbs push, but still. Now we're back to another 3 Musketeer rotation, so just gonna defense Xbow once more. And that's kind of the name of the game against 3M. I mean, you saw I went in and it didn't work out at all. Like, I thought I had a pretty good push going, and okay, this is really scary on the left. E-Barbs are just really threatening, honestly, and Golden Knight as well. I'm gonna Ice Spirit to kite into the middle, and then Knight, and hopefully the Knight doesn't get destroyed. Okay, Knight unfortunately just gets shredded by the E-Barb, so we're going to take some Musketeer damage. I don't think I could have afforded to do anything else, though. And yeah, I'm going to ignore that on the right, because I can kind of use tower damage as a resource. Wow, really ignoring a lot, though. Both my towers are lower than his now, so that kind of sucks. But again, it is 3 Musketeers. He has no direct damage except for maybe a Golden Knight dash. So if I just defend well, I can still win this one. But yeah, this is why it's not that easy, I would say. Like, Bridge Spam with no big spell would probably be easier, just because Golden Knight plus E-Barbs are really scary. But I'm going to take that Fireball value for sure. And then I'm a bit wary of using my archers here, because again, he does have Golden Knight. He could just dash onto all of them, but he looks like he didn't choose to use Golden Knight in that push, so we should be okay. I'm going to defensive Xbow this time, and then I can actually fireball his Musketeers. The good news about this matchup, though, is if you survive till triple, you can pretty much just fireball every Musketeer, because there's not going to be much of a point to using a pump anymore in triple Elixir. Going to log, hopefully hitting the heal spirit in time. Looks like I did not. And Golden Knight dash, just, oh my god, dashing on everything. Very annoying. But we are still able to defend, thankfully. And he is continuing the pressure. I think he's probably not going to go for 3 Musketeers anymore. Yeah, just going all in with this pressure. Definitely going to fireball on defense, and that was a lot of value. I think that kind of sealed the deal now. I probably won, because I can just get back to another fireball on the left side. Just have to make sure the Golden Knight doesn't dash onto my tower. And yeah, I think we won, so just going to take the fireball, set up a Tesla in the middle, and then I think we were able to win, because he shouldn't have any way of getting direct damage. So 3 Musketeers, honestly a very scary matchup. He does give the well played, so I'll give him the good game back, and well played too. Honestly is quite scary, though. Again, it is just a matter of defending perfectly the entire match, and going in, as you saw in single, does not really work out, because it didn't work out for me at all, even though I thought I had quite a good situation. So yeah, just defend very well. But that's going to put me at 7,300 trophies, which was my goal. Rank 697 in the world. I think I might go for one more, just because I kind of feel like it. But yeah, that's going to put me at Grand Champion League. Alright guys, we found hopefully the final match against Fairs. Let's see what he's going to be running. Going to give him the good luck back, and hopefully I can just get this win. So far, undefeated video, so that's been really nice. Goes for a Mighty Miner first play. Interesting. I'm going to go Archers. I haven't actually ever seen that, I think. Mighty Miner first play, so I'm not sure. I don't think a Logbait player would do that, and he does have arrows as well, so Mighty Miner plus arrows could be Lavahound. Just going to set up a Tesla in the middle, because I really have no clue what this deck is going to be. Musketeer as well, I still have no idea. And I don't think I've ever seen these card combinations together before, so just going to set up a low knight to take care of the Musketeer. And then I guess I might as well Xbow. Okay, goes for a bowler, so I'm actually going to Xbow on the left. That is going to put him down 5 Elixir, and goes for Skarmy, which I will just log, and then Ice Spirit for the Ewiz as well. And hopefully I do get a connection, although it looks like Xbow will lock onto the bowler, unfortunately. But that's actually not bad either, because I think I can just fully counter the bowler with a perfect set of split skeletons, or a perfect set of surrounding skeletons, I mean. And we do actually still get a connection on tower, so that was overall a pretty good sequence, and I think it might be Graveyard based on the cards I've already seen. I have no real idea though. Mighty Miner comes out, gonna Expo right away, because that Mighty Miner is very slow, not gonna walk up in time, and he just allows it to connect for some reason, so I'm definitely gonna take the Fireball on the Musketeer and Mighty Miner. Only reason I'm doing that is because I already had a split Archer helping out, so it was definitely worth it. And he is laughing, so it looks like he's upset. Definitely going to Ice Spirit as well, just keep this Expo alive even longer, and basically guarantee that I take the tower down. So, Bowler in the back. It could also be Balloon, I guess, although probably not because he has Ewiz. I think most Lumberloon decks don't run Ewiz, but some Graveyard Freeze decks do run Ewiz, so it might be Graveyard again. Also having arrows and Skarmy, so we'll see. Bowler comes down with the Skarmy behind, and Graveyard coming in as well. Gonna have to try and defend this Graveyard without a log, which is kind of tough. I think I actually have to Fireball. Gonna wait quite a long time to hopefully get the perfect Fireball off, and Skeleton Surround on the Bowler actually kind of failed, but it doesn't really matter because we have so much HP to work with, so it's totally fine. And yeah, now we can pretty much just defensive Expo and win, because it looks like he doesn't even have a big spell since he has a Graveyard Freeze. His only spell is arrows, other than the Freeze, and a Graveyard, I guess. But yeah, just going to set up a Tesla, and then Skarmy in the left. I think he was trying to bait out my log, but I don't actually really care about it, because I'd definitely rather save my log for the Graveyard, like I was saying before. And like I always say, whenever they go for like a Graveyard plus Freeze or Graveyard plus arrows, you do just want to clean it up with a log after, and that actually got quite tight at the end. I mean, he got quite a lot of damage, but he's going to let the knight take the tower, and that's still going to be game. There's no way he's going to take our tower in time, especially if I get a nice log off. So yeah, that's going to be a good game. I guess I'll give the thanks just because he's BMing so much. But yeah, really nice that we got an early connection, and that basically set us up for victory. So going to be another very nice win, which I'm very glad I was able to get, to put me at 7,340 trophies, ranked 569 in the world, getting very close to top 500. So pretty nice video overall today though. Undefeated video with some very nice wins, very interesting matchups there. 3 Musketeers, I would say, was kind of difficult, but we were able to win. And yeah, so that's going to be the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.